Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Aveni's Game Room. This is Chubby Gristle for the Commodore Amiga. It was released by Grand Slam Software in around 1988. Now, the first time I came across this, me and a friend had went up to town excuse me, to buy some games, and no, I don't want to cheat, and we went to Chips, which was basically our local video game store, and he went off to have a look at the Commodore 64 stuff, and I went off to have a look at the Amiga stuff, and this was on the shelf, and it wasn't cheap, it was 20 quid, and I picked up the box, I'm having a look at it, and the fellow who's working there, he comes over and starts giving me all the spiel. Oh, this game's selling really well, it's one of our best sellers, and I'm thinking to myself, ooh, I don't know if I want to spend 20 quid for this, so I put it back on the shelf and I tells him I'll think about it. And I goes back over to my friend, he's got through a few games and things for the Commodore 64, and he said, oh, what were you looking at there? I said, oh, it's a game called Chubby Gristle. He said, oh well, so-and-so's got a crack copy of that. You want to borrow it off him first before you go waste your money on that. And basically I said, well, fair enough, are you buying anything? And I think he bought himself a couple of games from the 199 ranges, Mastertronic, and maybe it's a Codemasters game or something. And to be honest, if I had bought that game and got it home and played it, I'd have took it back to the shop and I'd have slapped the fella across the face. And I'll tell you why. As you can see from the title screen, it doesn't look too bad. The main screen itself, with the jumping letter, it looks alright, I suppose, and the little fella comes on and pushes it all off, and then when we actually start the game, for those of you who have played a lot of 8-bit games, you'll be thinking to yourself, hang on a minute, that kinda looks like Monty Moore. Well, to be honest, it is. It's a complete rip-off of Monty Moore. They've barely changed the character at all. Instead of being a little chubby mole, he's a chubby fella. As far as I remember, he's either a car park attendant or a traffic warden or some craziness like that. It's got no relevance at all with the game. So I don't even know why they bothered to disclose that information, really. As you can see, graphically, for an Amiga game, it's rather poor. This is probably something I'd expect to see on an 8-bit machine with this graphics quality. It's awful. The game itself, it's not brilliant, to be honest. I've completed this on the Spectrum, and it's quite hard on the Spectrum, but this version takes this to a whole new level. The collision detection's piss poor. It's extremely difficult. I'm dead again. Well, for the first time, but yeah. I've completed it on the Spectrum, as I said, and it was quite difficult, but I soldiered on and I managed to do it, but with this version, no chance. I think the furthest I've managed to get in this version, I think I've cleared maybe 3 screens, 4 at the most, and oh, balls. It's just way too difficult. But the sound as well. At first, when you first hear the sound, it's not so bad, but after it's played over and over a couple of times, it just gets on your nerves. Oh, balls. And there we go. I'm dead already. I don't think I need to going any further, to be honest, with this one. From a collector's point of view, really, if you're into collecting your Amiga games and things, I'd say for hardcore collectors, save this till the end. Basically, when your collection is almost complete, then get it. For casual collectors, avoid this at all costs. It's just a woeful pile of misery. It's awful, and you're wasting your money, really. Yeah, it is that bad. To be honest, the programmers and graphics artists should be bloody ashamed of themselves for releasing this. It's dire. I don't have one good thing to say about this game at all. Yeah, there you go. That was Chubby Gristle on the Commodore Amiga. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.